You're listening to the Tony Conley Morning Show on 1320 WILS, 1320WILS.com. Tal Gross is a public health professor at Columbia University and has pulled the plug in his classroom. From now on, he announced last week that students will have to put away all phones, computers, and tablets before class begins. Since most students can type very quickly, laptops encourage them to copy down nearly everything said in a classroom. I wonder how this could work and why this was done. Let's learn a little bit more from June Campbell, who's a education expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. June, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. Well, at my dinner table, we got to put everything away when it comes to electronics. Me and my wife, once 5:30 hits, work is done for the day, so we can be with our boys. Now, this type of behavior is extending into education, it looks like. Tell us about this interesting story.
Okay, well, I congratulate you for doing that at your dinner table. The story is about the professor, but it's been noted by many others recently that students are able to type so fast that they take everything down verbatim, and by the time they get through typing the professor's lecture, they don't remember anything about what he said. On the flip side, those who take notes by hand, they can't write as fast as someone can type, certainly. And so they have to glean from the lecture, from the professor, from his inflection and so forth, what the important parts are. And by the time they write all of those things down, they remember. And not only do they remember then, but they remember longer than those who have just typed away.
So you think we've gone too far with computers in the classroom?
Absolutely. Now, I love technology. I'm an author. I use technology all the time. But I think just like anything else, there's a time and a place for it, and the classroom is not it, especially in the younger grades, because kids need to learn how to use their brain computers. They need to memorize and strengthen their minds. We have a little one-room schoolhouse here in Dallas, Texas, and we have no technology. And our kids are 2 to 3 grade levels ahead of all the other schools. And
why is that?
It's because they're learning how to learn. We memorize the math facts by flashcards, and they hear one another memorizing with the teacher. It's just like in a family setting, with the younger child usually catches on quicker than the older child did, because they heard him practicing or her practicing so much. And it's the same thing. They get they hear the other students, but they also have that real human interaction with the teacher. There's nothing like the warmth of a real conversation. But the main thing is that they are using their brain, they're strengthening that brain muscle, and they are able to know the answer to something quickly and accurately when they need it, and not be dependent upon computers. And so basically, in a nutshell, they've got the tools in the toolboxes, and they have become logical thinkers.
June, there will be folks who say, you know what, I like to use the technology, I like to use my calculator because it allows me to get something done in a quicker way so I can move on to do other things. How does not using technology and using your brain more, even though it may take a little bit more time, relate when it comes to getting out there and working in the real world?
Well, like I said before, I think there's a time and a place for everything, and I think that you have to get first things first. You've got to get the math down and the reading down and the writing with a real pencil and using your brain, and after that, then they are ready for technology. And in every home in America, there are computers. Kids are learning to use computers. Their parents are showing them how to do it. They're in libraries. They get plenty of computer time. But what they need at an early age is to learn how to use their brains. This is the way it's always been until recently, and this is the way it should be.
We've been talking with June Campbell, who's an education expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. June, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for listening to the Tony Conley Morning Show on 1320 WILS, 1320WILS.com.